Hello everyone! This week we will be going over reverse tie-dye t-shirts. With me, your friendly OT intern, Liz. I will be showing you 3 different kinds of shirts you can make. This shirt heavily reminds me of the concept of wabi-sabi, which is the beauty in the imperfect. The imperfect that we find in nature, and many philosophers and psychologists tie it into the beauty in the imperfection in ourselves. Here are the supplies you'll need. 1 dark t-shirt, make sure that it's cotton, a bowl or bucket to contain the t-shirt in. You can also use a sink or a tub. Bleach, any kind of bleach will do, household bleach or laundry bleach. Just make sure that you're very careful. Rubber bands, household gloves in order to handle the bleach, and if the container for the bleach is too big, a plastic cup, just so that you have something to pour it from easily. Also, make sure that the area that you're working in is highly ventilated. Preferably do this outside. I live in an apartment, so I just made sure that I opened up all my windows and my door for good airflow. For the best results, use a dark t-shirt. This will ensure that the results really stand out. I'm using an old t-shirt that I've had for a while and really just kind of want to experiment with. So wet the t-shirt. This ensures that the bleach goes all the way through the different layers. Really squeeze it out so that it's not too wet. For this one, I am going for a crumple style, so I'm just gonna kind of start crumpling in different ways, gathering it all together, bunching it all together, and this will form kind of a random pattern. Once you bunch it up, use rubber bands in kind of any pattern that you want. Just slap them on. Be as rubber band crazy as you want. So really tie them up and make sure that it's a nice tight little bundle. Once you have it packaged up nice and tight, then you will move it on over to your bowl, your container. So again, this could be your sink, this could be your tub, this could be any kind of bowl or bucket that you have around. Make sure that you use gloves for this. I am using household gloves. They're rubber, and it's easy for me to use this later for cleaning up my house or dishes. At first, I tried to pour from the bleach container itself. It ended up being a little bit too fiddly, so I moved to a plastic cup, ended up pouring from there, just so it's a little bit easier to handle. If you have a smaller bottle of bleach, you might just be able to pour directly from the bleach bottle. So I poured in different little segments between the rubber bands, and I was very, very careful with the first try of this. So this is the bleach now setting into the cloth. You can see how much it's already changed already. Next, you're going to wash it out in the tub or in the sink. Be more careful than I was. Do not put your feet in the tub because, again, this is bleach. Remove all the rubber bands, and I went ahead and I hung it on a hanger and hung it in my bathroom just because I wasn't quite sure about the results yet. So it ended up not being as bleached as I want it to be. So I went ahead and went for another run. So I crumpled it up again and just kind of focused on the sections that weren't as bleached as I would like. So again, I tied them up and added bleach to the areas that I wanted lighter. So I went with a lot more bleach than I did before, just to see. I set it back down in the bowl. And then in the parts that were above that quite hadn't gotten lighter, I went ahead and just gave it a splash. Be very careful, make sure that it only stays in the container that you're working in. I crumpled it up, tried to get all the bleach through it, and then I washed it and put it in the wash. For the next t-shirt, I went ahead and went with a different pattern. I kind of did little accordion folds from one side of the t-shirt to the other. This t-shirt I actually got at Hobby Lobby for about $4. You will find it in the crafting section. So I bunched this all together and then started going down the line with rubber bands as if I was making a big t-shirt rope. This does take time and patience, but keep at it. So keep adding those rubber bands until it's a nice big t-shirt rope. You might need to squeeze in more fabric just to make sure it fits. And the parts with the sleeves were a little bit difficult, but keep at it, you'll be able to get it. Then I got the last few rubber bands on it and put it into my bowl. I wrapped it up so that it all fit and poured a line of bleach all the way down. If you want more defined lines, then I would suggest pouring bleach on every other section of the t-shirt that you see. So I'm doing that now. I'm adding a little bit more so there's more areas that are bleached than others. Then after a while, it does not take long at all. The t-shirt already has started to change. After you're done, let it sit for a couple of minutes. It does not take long. About 5 minutes should do. And then again, wash it out. In order to get the rubber bands off of this one, I went ahead and I did cut them off with scissors, and that helped a ton. So I put it aside in the bowl, and then I moved it over to the wash and dropped it in with the other one. For my last shirt that I worked on, I did a accordion fold style like I had before. I started out with the sleeve, and I kind of bunched it up as I did the last t-shirt, and then I rolled it up. This is another old t-shirt of mine that I have not worn in a while. It just hasn't been one of my favorite shirts. So again, I decided to experiment and revitalize what I already had. So I tied that up nice and tight, went to the other side, did a little accordion fold, rolled it up, and tied it up as well. Then from the bottom, I began to crumple it up. So this way I am crumpling it the opposite way as of the other t-shirt and getting all those little accordion folds in there. So I'm hoping to get some vertical stripes on my shirt after I'm done. So again, readjust as you need in order to get those folds and make it into like a rope with a bunch of different little rubber bands. For this one, I was careful to pour in between different sections so I get more defined stripes. So I was very careful just to get it right in between just the rubber band sections that I wanted it to be in. So every other little section I poured bleach into. I flipped it over and put some more bleach kind of on the other side. hoping that I put it in the same sections that I put it on the other side. If you want to be more careful, make sure you note which sections you've poured it on each side. Then I washed it out again and put it in the wash after removing the rubber bands. I put a detergent pod in there, ran it for the normal amount of time. When it dried, I tossed it in the dryer, and here are my results. This is the one that I crumpled. I really love the pattern on it. I think it ended up really cool. Here's the one that I did the long ways accordion style folds. I got these really nice horizontal stripes to it. I think it looks really kind of spooky and Halloweeny. Then this is the one, I think it ended up really cool. This one I did the short ways folds and ended up with these cool vertical stripes. I really like how kind of asymmetrical this one ended up. And those were the t-shirts. I hope you enjoy this project as much as I did. I had a lot of fun experimenting. I had a lot of fun crumpling up the shirts in different ways and figuring it out as I went. I love the unexpected results of my shirts. Remember, this isn't about perfection. This is wabi-sabi. And the things that are imperfect about these shirts are the things that make it beautiful. And it's kind of like us. We are imperfect and beautiful.